Welcome back to Visual Trigger.
So I decided to bring into my darkroom. Someone ordered a print of David Lynch, so, might as well mount 4 cameras and put on a lav mic and, show you guys how I print things. I've been in a darkroom since I was 11 years old, junior high. And, by no means am I the end all be all darkroom guy. I just know it works for me. Had great people who have over the years increased my knowledge of this stuff. And by no means am I presenting myself as like the end all be all expert of this stuff. I am not a darkroom rat. I like working in a darkroom, but I'd rather shoot, of course. So today we'll be printing some Ilford multi-grade fiber. This, I think it's matte. Is it matte? No, this one's glossy. So they're getting glossy. I'm sure there's some matte somewhere in here, but whatever. So yeah, gonna print up some 11 by 14. The print we're gonna do is David Lynch. I did a portrait session with David Lynch. I don't know, it was 2003, 2004. When does it say? It says 5726. It could have been 2003. This was shot with a Leica MP. And yeah, I know, portrait. But I was back. It wasn't like it was a headshot. So it was a 35 Summilux, even though I was using studio strobe. So it really didn't, it could be almost any lens because I'm pretty sure I was probably at like at least f8. So we'll be doing that one. Mixed up some chemicals. I've got to be careful because usually I start with the dev tray and then go through the process, but for cameras, I had to put the dev there so I didn't put any more holes in the wall, even though that is a piece of plywood that's lagged into some studs. So that's kind of a free-for-all. It still leaves shit, but whatever. Super strong stop bath. Instead of 15 milliliters to a liter, I do like 20 to 22 just because I like a strong stop. I want to make sure the development stopped when I want it to stop. And, that's a Frank Jackson method. So, yeah, gonna get some chemicals going, and I've mounted some cameras so you can kind of see. There's one on the easel. There's one way up there on the top doing a time lapse. There's one over the dev tray, and there's that one. So let's get this going. Yeah, frame 24. You can kind of see it. Yeah, that-ish. Damn, is that going already? Damn, that's fast. Frame 24, where are you? That's so funny. It was actually the last frame I took of that particular sequence. Pretty sure, because I hate getting this. Anti-static brush. And so I'm using full frame, so you can see the black lines around it. It's glassless. These, you're so lucky to find these used, because if you have to buy them new, I think I bought that one new. Eliminate as much dust as you can. I mean, I don't think anybody likes to do spotting. They're probably the same people who like to do, I don't know, scan their negatives, because that sucks too. See how we fire this baby up. I think I bumped this one last time. And if you don't have a foot switch, you are... I don't understand anybody who doesn't have a foot switch. Try to get all my borders just about right. So on this one, I don't really need to do a test strip because I printed it extensively, and I have a little notebook. I have a little notebook. It has a whole bunch of notes about how I printed this. This is the Lynch print, I think. I hope so. That was Brittany Murphy. There we go. Let's make sure I don't have 2 pages of, thank God. So these are my... Those are my notes on how to print this print. See here. Last time I printed this was the 20th of February. Yeah, that was another time, and definitely because that was like pre-COVID. The whole world's changed since then. 16 seconds, grade 00. 16 seconds, grade 3. And then I burn the edges. I burned the suit at grade 3. I burned some highlights at grade 0 after the 00. And this Saunders LPL, it's a variable contrast, constant exposure. for Kodak and Ilford, even though I don't. Can you get Kodak paper anymore? Because I haven't seen it. Anyway, the last enlarger I had, you had to dial in the like. There's a sheet that comes in the Ilford boxes, and to be honest, I never thought it was all that accurate, and I never really liked the prints that head actually made. This one is a beast, and I know there was a lot back in the day, but the only two that are really viable are Saunders, which these are still made. It's new old stock, and I got this one from some girl who was selling it. Her dad lived in the desert, and I was already in Palmdale for something, so I picked this up for $300. They're like $5,000 if you can find them new, and then used. I mean, I had another guy who just said, "Hey, take this other one I have," some rich doctor guy. But yeah, it's fantastic. I couldn't imagine. It makes printing so much easier. So we'll get going on this. Double zero, 16 seconds. Double zero, and then a burn. Okay, 16 seconds. 25% of that is 4 times 4, so 4 seconds on each of the highlights. A little bit of the smoke, some of the hands, a little bit of the face. Maybe we'll do more of that smoke. Touch that hand. Okay. Now we're going to do 16 seconds. Grade 3. And then the burn on that. Edges and suit. Don't need that for a second. Oh, I want it to beep. I'll have to do that when I have the light on. Here goes grade 3. Then we'll come back and burn some stuff. And I'll do it 4 or 5 seconds on the jacket. One, two, three, four. Now we'll do the edges, each like 4 probably. But I don't have my beeps on, so it sucks having to count in your head when you have something that does the beep, so I have to turn the beep on in a second. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just finish it out. And I think we got it. See, I think that was it. Burn the jacket, burn the edges. Yeah, that was it. Give it 2 minutes. Give it some agitation. Flip it over. Get it all nice and wet. I don't just leave it in here. You really do have to. I mean, yeah, as much as I'd love to have like some kind of automatic agitator, I mean, it's part of Darkroom. I mean, I'm sure there are guys that, I'm sure that they don't, but and they make big fucking prints, commercial or something like that. And see with the first one, I'm like, came out nice. I think I'll pay more attention to burning, about 1 more minute and this developer is, the Ilford developer. I forgot what I had in the bottle, and, usually I have Kodak, but this time I have some Ilford. I mean, it's Ilford frickin' paper, You don't have to... I just do things because I've done them for fucking years, and the other day I was like, wow, mixing powder sucks. And there's no discernible difference between the Ilfo like developer and the Kodak, I don't think. Well, there we go. Always make sure my paper's safe. There's no paper out. Always make sure. It's gone a couple minutes of fixing, so then it'll be light safe and I can turn on some proper color temperature. Okay, nothing light sensitive. Let's see here. Yeah, I think just a little more attention to burning that corner over there. But honestly, for having not printed that for a couple months, I mean, yeah, I've done it a lot, but I'm always amazed. Let's see here. Let's see, where can you see it the best? See it here. Well, it's going to go back in the fixer for about 8 more minutes. And 2 things. The first box I picked up, well, I didn't realize. Hold on, let me get some of this fixer off my fingers. Hey, it's not selenium, so, you know, I mean, except I'm sure Ansel had plenty of selenium in his thing, and he ended up being like fucking 90. So, I had this box. This box, it had some prints that I took to go show someone, and that was a glossy, and I'm like, I don't like to print the Lynch in glossy. I like to do it in matte. And like I said, so multi-grade 4 matte, brilliant paper. I really, really like it. I like glossy for certain circumstances too, but I find myself, I print on matte a lot, you know. I think you find, besides RC paper, doing contact sheets, honestly, I think you find you have 1 or 2 papers, and that's kind of like, that's all you do. And got a whole full one. And yeah, I mean, I've gone through 3 or 4 iterations of that print to get it down. Like, oh wait, let me set this for 6 more minutes. So, now my fixer's getting ugly. So another Frank Jackson thing is, besides make strong fix, his other saying is fix the shit out of it, and I do. I fix for 10 minutes. I hypo later. Well, I mean, after fixing for 10 minutes, then it gets washed once at a tray, and then it goes into the print washer for about an hour, and you know, you're good to go. So it is now being fixed the shit out of, as per Frank Jackson. And you know, you pick up things from different guys who allow you, like, you know, he's a master printer, and you know, I know what I like to see. I don't think I've ever printed anybody else's stuff once. I'm trying to think. I may have once, but honestly, I don't think so. So make one more print and see if I can. I'm always amazed that they come out pretty goddamn close. So yeah, we'll do it one more time. Okay. I like to print kind of in the dark. I mean, I have one safe light up there. It's pretty weak, so it just kind of gives an outline to shit. And let's see here. Filter. Let's see what we're at. Are we at 00? And seriously, this foot switch, my God. We are at F4. This is a Rodenstock Apo Rotagon 50 2.8. They say, you know, print it 2.8. I like to print it F4. There's no difference between 2.8 and 4, but, you know. So let's go for our first 00 exposure. Double lot. Got the beeps going. Try not to touch my shirt to make lav noise and lav cord noise. Hopefully I fixed all my borders. This one looks a little fat. Now we'll do some burning. About 4 seconds on each aspect of the burn. So that's for, we'll go for a little bit more on the smoke. Now we're gonna go to the grade 3s. Boom. It's so repeatable with this kind of head. It's fucking ridiculous. So, just a 16-second exposure on grade 3, and then I'll do some burns on grade 3. There's really I don't think I do any dodge. No, I never did any dodging on this. So here's our... And we'll do 4 seconds again on the his suit jacket. And now we'll do the edges, about 4 seconds apiece. The corners. There we go. It's always magic. Kind of never gets old. Now I made my border's a little skinny, but you know what? It's all good. Yep. Got the edges burned the way I liked. And because there's dry down to this paper, you kind of just err on the side of not going as much as, and then just wait for it to dry, and it's 99 times out of 100 it's exactly where I want it. But you gotta agitate. And I know it's boring, but there's kind of a... And you always, under safe lights, you always think, even under this fancy LED one from Germany, you always think, oh, maybe it's a little dark. And it's not. Here we go. 2 minutes are up. So, 30 more seconds on some fix action. And let's see, I did 1, 2, probably do 3. There's no reason to get chemistry out, unless you do a few prints. I think. I'd rather do 3, 4, 5, and then, and I just need to make 1 tonight, but I usually try to make a couple more just for whatever reason. And 8 more minutes. I already know what it looks like. I mean, it's light safe now, so let's see. Light safe. Let's see if I point it towards the... There we go. Probably see it a little better now. I'll show it later, of course, but yeah, I'm pretty much there. So I consider myself extremely fortunate to have found a Salt Hill easel. Ridiculously good. I can't believe how lucky I was to actually find one of these, and essentially it was given to me. So there's nothing like this. The Saunders easels are fantastic, but this is the best easel in the world. And who else uses one of these? Well, Don Weinstein uses one, and who printed a lot of my stuff before when I was down in California. And this is the kind that Frank Jackson uses too. So fantastic easels. F4 filter, 16 seconds, 00. Light, 16 seconds, 00. And 2 minutes of agitation. That's funny, right? At like 20 seconds. I remember this was pretty fresh though when I left. So I love Fresh Developer. And, you know, I always say what Frank does in the Darkroom, but Frank does a lot of good things in the Darkroom. Yeah, I'm sure someone will comment on that. But he does one use on his chemicals. I mean, I don't know. I'll use the developer a few times. With film, I definitely just recycle it. I actually take all my chemistry and it goes to the lab I use, and it's $1 a gallon to properly use the facility that they use. And you know what, $1 a gallon. I just save it in buckets and then put it into gallon water containers and, you know, put it in a box, take it to the lab, and yep, print number 3. I think this is the one I'll actually send to the person who bought it. Because I kind of like this one the most. It always happens that way, it seems. And we're done. Wish I had a shotgun mic on some of these sounds. One of the most important things. Taking the, shutting down the beast. Putting the neg back in its home. You don't, I mean, this is a, diffusion head, but nonetheless, I wouldn't want to leave it on all night. Just whatever, you gel, you don't know, you forget. In a condenser, I think I'd be super vigilant, but you know, that negative's been a very good negative to me, so I want to take good care of it. Now I can turn off the music because I'm done. So, this is the final print. I mean, I've done this print so many times, and you can see it pretty well. I took one of the lights that was next to the enlarger with a gel on it, and I think this works, right? Try not to get the glare. Yeah, under that crazy light, looks pretty damn good. This one, I mean, it's where I want it to be, but yeah, so put it in the washer, let it go for about an hour, and let it dry, and put it in the dry mount press.